We all consider moving at some point in life, and sometimes going smaller just makes sense. But there doesn't have to be a downside to downsizing. With a plan, the choice can bring freedom, safety, and emotional closure. Amy, when should older adults start thinking about downsizing?
I think when you approach your mid-50s and you're coming up on 60 and you're looking at each other if you're married and you're saying, is this going to work for us here? If I become unable to get walking around, or how am I going to do with the steps? How big is the house? How hard do I want to work to maintain the house? I think that's the kind of questions that should be asked really early on, because that downsizing decision, and for me, I think about the expense of having a huge house that you never use a lot of the rooms. And I like to think, well, I'm going to save some money, get a smaller place, and do other things with my money. That's kind of how I think about it. But there's a lot of people out there who have their home and their kids come back home and it means something to them.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And frankly, there's not enough places to downsize to in most areas. And so if you're thinking about, we might want to consider options. First of all, asking yourselves that questions. Very important, so you're just being thoughtful and mindful, but there just aren't enough places maybe to downsize to, and so you'd want to start looking early, and it doesn't even necessarily mean downsize in terms of a smaller place. It could be same square footage, but arranged better for your season of life you're in now or the future. Some people might build a bigger home, and a home where they could have multi-generational living. And so it's really just thinking about the season of life we're in now and where we're headed, and where are we going to really be best served by our environment. Because people can just like barricade in and lock down, and it might not be the best environment. Maybe you could dream a new dream and think about what options there might be.
I think it's deciding what's a priority for you. What's important to me. So living in a home where there's an accessible full restroom and shower, that ability. If I'm in a 2-story and the only full shower, the full bath is on the 2nd floor, and I may end up not able to ambulate stairs, that's something to consider. Can I remodel that home to make it accessible? But that for me would be probably the most important thing. I personally want a home that's big enough for my kids and grandkids to be able to come visit.
Yeah.
Sure.
That means a lot to me.
Sure.
And I don't want to give that up until I would have to.
A lot of people feel the same way, but you also have to think, well, the kids really come visit, because sometimes they're really not coming. And so now you are getting a larger apartment thinking they're going to come visit that 3rd bedroom, or you're staying in a larger home with maybe almost a romantic notion that people are going to come, and in reality they don't.
I look at it for myself. God, the time has just snuck up on me. I'm like, I got all this stuff in my house, and I probably need to downsize, but it's overwhelming.
That is the
overwhelming.
word.
No,
That is
To
the
get
word.
rid of all this stuff that you have built up over years.
I think that's right. I think that's why a lot of people don't downsize, is that they're so overwhelmed at the immensity of all the work they're going to have to do, and they don't realize just take a little bit at a time, focus on the room you don't care about, you know, have 4 piles. I'm going to give away, I'm going to sell, I'm going to keep, I'm going to trash, and get a friend who's really good at it to help you, like chip away at it. Have a friend that really knows your memories, and have somebody that's really organized that can throw stuff out. Hopefully they'd be in one person, but sometimes they're not.
Probably not.
I think somebody that can ask you clarifying questions so it's easier for you to make decisions, because a lot of this is just decision fatigue. But addressing your mature life tasks really help you feel more empowered.